when I was 8 years old, I was at Thanksgiving with my cousin, and he put his hand over my face, wrestling me to the ground, and I could smell then what I know now to be the smell of balsam. And I said, "What's that smell?" And he said, "That's tips." I said, "What do you mean tips?" And he says, "Balsam fir tips." "What do you mean?" And he said, "Well, I break branches off fir trees and sell them to Flo's Wreaths to make wreaths with." So I got thinking, he sells these tips. Therefore, tips begets money, begets candy. So I went home and I picked up a little sandwich bag and I climbed a spruce tree. And I started picking these spruce needles, not the tips, and not balsam, but spruce needles, and putting them in a bag. And I took them in the house and I said, "Mom, take me to Flo's. I have some tips to sell." So she took me up to Flo's and I walked in and I showed Flo what I had to sell. And Flo let out a very hearty laugh. And she said, "That's not what I'm looking for, young man, but I'll show you." So she took me out into the tip room and I could smell that smell of balsam. It just hit me right away. And then as I'm looking around at all these tips that she had, I could hear these noises in the room next door. And I said, what's going on in there? And she said, "It's wreath making. Do you want to go in?" And I said, "Of course." So she opened up the doors and opened the doors to my new world.